I'll be honest, I cannot tell you what it is I'm playing. Those little patterns you practice, they come out months later. The reason why it comes out is because now it's natural.
Please welcome my guy, ZackGrooves.
Hello.
To Drumeo. This is long overdue, man.
Yeah.
I've been watching your stuff on YouTube. I think the first video I saw was the 10 types of jazz drummers.
Oh.
And I think that was the video. I don't think I've laughed that hard at a YouTube drum video since then. So I'm stoked you're here. And to any of you who don't know who Zack is, you've got a huge YouTube following, upwards of 350,000 subscribers on YouTube. You're a clinician, a performer. You're known for having like a chops vocabulary. You've got your chops ebook out, and you have a new album coming out soon.
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Pretty soon.
When can people expect that?
Well, there's not a exact date yet because we're having everything mixed and mastered one by one.
Yeah.
And we want it to be good great quality for everyone to listen to. So we're just kind of taking our sweet time with it.
Nice.
But within the next month or two, I would say, we just released a single today, though. Today.
Okay.
Yesterday. We just released a single yesterday morning on the drive here from the hotel. I was like on the computer uploading. And yeah, you can find it out. Our band is called Everything Yes. That was actually one of the tunes that's going to be on the upcoming record that no one has heard yet.
And what's that one called?
That one's called Time Machine.
There you go.
Yeah,
so stay tuned for that. Whenever the album drops, make sure you're
man.
following Zack on all of his socials, at ZackGrooves on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. And you can also buy a bunch of merch at ZackGrooves.store. All right, man. Let's get into it. We're talking about expanding drum chops with the hi-hat foot.
Yes.
So I guess first off, probably a lot of people are wondering this in the chat. Drum chops is kind of a very blanket term, and a lot of people have a different way of explaining that. So what is a drum chop to you?
To me, me personally, drum chop or chops is basically anything other than a groove, right? Because even in like the free flowy jazz stuff, there's like still like a little groove in there if you listen real closely, you know. And it's just a combination of lots of notes and lots of vocabulary happening, but in the context of time, right? You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? In the context of time. And then you got the avant-garde stuff, but that's like it's a whole nother universe. So probably won't need to talk about that today.
Do you think like when it comes to chops, like there's almost an element of stringing ideas together and like flow? Would you use like that word when describing it? Yeah,
I would say, because you could work on patterns all day, but you never want to go in a gig and purposely insert a pattern that you worked on in the practice room. Like you don't want to go, okay, bar 4 is coming up in the bridge. I'm about to do this chop I practiced in the practice room. Like that's
example 4 goes right here.
Example 4 from page 36. Okay, here we go. No, that's what we would call corny. You know, we don't want that. But those little patterns you practice and you kind of forget about. Like you'll be in the practice room all day playing these little patterns in a book. And then you'll find they just kind of lose you over the course of 2 days. They come out months later, maybe a year later. And you're like, wait, what did I just play here? Oh, that was something. But the reason why it comes out is because now it's natural. You solidified that pattern. It's like, wow, now it's natural. And
love it.
Yeah.
So in this lesson, we're talking specifically about how to use the hi-hat foot in chops. So I guess this is almost like a system that you can like replace certain things with the left foot. So yeah, let's get into this concept.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this because I have a lot of students that I teach as many students as I can every Sunday, right, on my day off. Well, usually I would just throw like the most vague concept at them, right? I'll be like, hey, for example, play me a funk groove, but incorporate the hi-hat any way you want. And 9 times out of 10, they'll play it like this, right? It's very cool. But then when you kind of challenge them, like, okay, what if we spice up that groove a little bit? Start moving that hi-hat around. So it'd be like something like... You start to introduce that to a student and then they go, oh, what the heck? You know, it's like totally unnatural to them. And usually they don't know where to start. So I made these examples to help you out with that. And what we're gonna do is make that uncomfortable feeling of using that left foot on anything other than 2 and 4, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, we're gonna try to make that comfortable, right? So if we pull up the sheet music here, or the notation, there it is, look at that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Pull it up. What you're gonna notice is there's a lot of stuff happening, and you're probably gonna look at me like I'm crazy, which is totally cool, right? Really cool. But because your hands are doing all these linear, choppy 16th note stuff, right? You follow me? You follow me, Brandon?
I got
because
you.
your hands are doing all this crazy stuff, doing something like subbing a kick drum for a hi-hat note which is what we're going to get into in the next few examples. Doing something like that is gonna be the easiest part of your job because you already got all this happening. So now, what was once uncomfortable before is going to be the easiest part of the exercise. That's like reverse psychology, right?
Sounds like it.
Science.
Yeah.
Ornithology.
Science with ZackGrooves.
Just kidding. That's like all right, so let's get through this first example. I'm gonna play it really slow. As you can see, there's no hi-hat foot happening here, but that's for a reason. Just follow me. Follow me. All right, here we go. Groove. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a little groove. All right, now if we move to the next example, the third bass drum note is now going to be subbed for the hi-hat foot. So now you get this type of thing. We're still playing that same groove, where now we're just replacing one of the kick drums for a measly, simple hi-hat foot note. You speed it up, you get something cool like. Simple, right?
Nice.
Moving on to the next example. The fourth kick drum note. Doing the same thing. Subbing out the kick drum for the hi-hat. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So you practice this enough and doing something like just replacing the kick drum or even one of your ghost notes with the hi-hat is gonna start to feel more natural.
Like even that motion of like stepped hi-hat to playing it after, like you could throw that in so many different places, styles of music. I immediately think of like, I think the first guy I heard doing that was like David Garibaldi. Who do lots of that stuff back to back, but
the Jack DeJohnette.
Yeah.
I hear those. Yeah. I think that was the first one.
And would you say too, like if you were, so for any like,
sorry.
Oh, all good.
I started thinking about Jack.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to you playing some Jack stuff too.
I won't do it justice.
For any like beginners who are watching, would you recommend that they still start with just the basic timekeeping on the left foot, getting like your quarters, eighths, offbeats down, just in a time context?
Oh, absolutely.
And then moving into this kind of stuff, which is more expressive, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That what was the saying? No, fills don't pay the bills, but groove does.
If you're watching this and you're getting into this concept, you could do that with any example where any kind of linear line, just sub the kick for the hi-hat.
Exactly. Sub a ghost note for the hi-hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you just want to play around the kit even for a bit, just using that idea and see what happens?
I'll take this idea and just see what happens, like you said, you know?
Nice.
Play some slick stuff, you know?
I love it, dude.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let's move on. You got another track. We're going to do this one's called...
We do have another track.
Yeah, I think this is one of yours too. Arrival.
Ah.
Is this on the new album too?
Yes, that hasn't been released yet.
We're just giving away like all the spoilers here.
I think I showed a bit of it on my Discord server, but that's about it.
Let's, this is Arrival. I can tell there's a lot of stuff in there using that concept
Yep.
that you were just talking about earlier. Lots of the stepped hi-hat followed by playing on top.
Yeah.
A lot of other ideas too. Like, I don't know if it's the 6-stroke roll you're using a lot between the hats and the snare, but there's like certain things I see coming up a lot. And I feel like drummers, we all gravitate to like a few pieces of vocab.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
we use that in so many different ways. But
Oh, yeah.
I feel like at the end of this lesson, we should come back and just talk about even just some pieces of vocab you use all the time.
Yeah.
But
it's funny. It kind of changes like seasons.
yeah, totally.
It's like one season I'll be playing a lot of paradiddles.
Yeah.
And then another one I'll be playing like a lot of double strokes or whatever.
Yeah.
I go to like these reliable.
There's always the fallback.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Nice, man. So we're going to get into the second part of this. So same concept, but all with 16th note triplets. So if we want to bring up the first demo.
Yeah, very similar thing to what we did in the beginning, but now it's just 16th note triplets, baby.
Nice.
If you got your drum set, I want you to try to play along with me, all right? So I'll go 1, 2, ready, play. Following along, Brandeezy?
I am right here, man.
Yeah, cool.
Right, left kick.
Yeah.
So then we're going to sub the hats.
The second kick is going to be subbed with the hat. You ready? Are you ready to play along with me?
I'm going to try.
All right. 1, 2, you know what to do. You can do with it. Yeah.
I was just going to say, can you move that around and just show us what you can do with that?
Yeah. So we got... This sounds kind of,
dude, there's like
kind of weird. So
coolest,
slow.
There's like a built-in melody to a lot of this stuff, like with the right hand. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's try it again, but a little bit faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. See, that pattern that I wrote out forever ago came out naturally, and while we were writing that last song. Was it the last song? No, it was the first song we did. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It all comes back.
It all comes back.
You don't know when, but it will.
Don't know. It'll come back. Right? Trust the process. Trust the process.
Wise words.
All right, let's move on to the next example. Now we're subbing out a different kick drum note. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
You can clearly tell that I haven't shed this stuff in a while, but it's all over my plate.
You're doing pretty good, man.
It's all over my plate.
Nice. And then we've got one more, I think. 3-note subbed.
Okay, here we go.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. The full version, there's like just pages of this stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I got to get better at this.
It's like my own little private thing.
Nice. And I guess too, like you could, if you're at home practicing this, you could just write out your own examples in any subdivision.
Exactly.
And I guess you could even go through like stick control or whatever this way too.
Just sub.
Yeah. I want to jump back. I mentioned I wanted to talk about this. Just like some of your favorite chops in general. So in that solo you did on Arrival, you're doing a bunch of different ideas at the end, but there was a few things like you kind of kept coming back to. So what would some ideas be that I guess are some of your fallback stuff that you just have so comfortably under your hands?
Yeah. Let's see. So I did marching band and in high school. So I'm all about the rudiments.
Nice.
I love me some rudiments. That's a weird thing to say. I love me some rudiments. Wow, that's weird.
We know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're all drummers, right?
Yeah. So the paradiddle diddle, the vlam, doubles, I eat all that up. So nice. I would do stuff like, right? To me, that's a paradiddle. I don't care. Yeah, I'll lead a lot of stuff with a paradiddle.
Okay.
Paradiddle diddle, right? So like, and then I'm off. Paradiddle. Okay, what's next? Right. So I'm just gonna try to play everything I just played there, not note for note, but I'm just gonna slow it down so you can really tell what I'm playing. Because I'll be honest, I cannot tell you what it is I'm playing. I'm just going off a straight.
Which I think is fair, because like when you're creating, you're not thinking about like insert X pattern here.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
Yeah. That's what you work on in the practice room so you can actually create on the fly.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna try my best to play slow, okay? So I'm gonna count it off, and we're gonna go 16th notes. Daka, 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 daka. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notes. With that, in 30 seconds, when they just creeped in there. I'm sorry.
It happens, right?
It's at 16 notes. But yeah, as you can see, I was playing a lot of rudiments. Paradiddle, diddle, singles and doubles.
Yeah.
Just going around how I felt like.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of stuff, you're doing lots of like combinations between the hands and feet. How would you recommend people who want to get into that kind of vocabulary, would you recommend doing like linear singles or like 2 and 2, 4 and 2? Was there anything you did?
That's a good question because I've never went through the linear singles type of thing or like kick drum workouts.
Yeah.
I just took some of my favorite patterns I was playing at the time or rudiments and say,
yeah,
okay, how would my foot fit somewhere in here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would go like, okay, all right, well that's 2 paradiddles, right? What would my foot sound like after that? And then on to the next one, right? Okay, now I'm gonna play a paradiddle diddle. Okay, well, that sounds very close to what I played before. Let me just try it with one kick. Right? And now you do that for enough, and you'll start just come out with all this new vocabulary that you didn't know you had because you sat there like. I don't know about y'all, but I am a slow learner. I got to take things one by one beat at a time, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a slow learner. You saw when we were.
Hey, you did pretty good. Don't tell them what we filmed.
All right, I won't tell them. But that was disrespectful. All right, that was disrespectful.
We do what we can for the greater good of drummers out there.
Yeah. But back to the getting the foot coordination thing. I think the foot thing came more from just checking out some of my favorite guys and like rather than match note for note what they were doing, it was more so trying to match that vibe.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I saw Chris Coleman, right, that was like one of my guys I looked up to growing up. He still is. Great guy.
He's the man.
Yeah. I saw him do this really chunky chop that sounded like a bunch of kick drums going in between, single kicks. And I was like, I want to try to match that vibe, you know? Young Zack. I'm like, Coleman now, dude.
Nice.
So it's really that. And if I was super curious about it, then yeah, I would like slow it down.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, what's going on here?
That's probably a good way too. Like I remember when I was first getting into like linear playing, inserting the kick in between some piece of vocab.
Yeah.
It almost just gives your hands a break.
Exactly.
So you can take an idea, put a kick in, string together another idea, and it's just like easier on your hands.
Yeah.
So cheating, maybe. I don't know.
Dude.
Call it what you want.
Yeah, call it what you want. I find it amazing how differently everyone learns stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like everyone approaches it differently, which is the beautiful thing about playing the drums, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Any other like go-to like chops that you use all the time or rudiments that you use all the time on the kit?
I'll tell you, man, it really depends what type of music I'm playing for the season, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
So for this, you know, as you heard, I'm playing a lot of this, right? So anything like triplet-y, subdivision type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just what's the most comfortable right now. You know,
Nice.
if I'm playing like with a rock band, which is, let's be honest, that probably never happened. But if I play with,
I'd pay to see that. It would be sick.
I used to play with this rock band in high school called Slop. Don't look it up. But I remember back then I was playing a lot of stuff like. I thought I was so cool. I thought it was so cool.
I mean, it sounds clean.
Oh yeah. I thought I was like. Man, I thought I was the coolest cat. But all that is. You know what I'm saying? That's all I play for a little bit.
Yeah.
Really depends on the type of music I'm playing at the time.
Nice, man. What else would you recommend, like, for someone who's wanting to get into this, like, left foot idea? So beginners, just to reiterate, you'd recommend just starting with basic timekeeping, probably quarters, eighths, stuff like that. What would be, like, in between basic timekeeping and, like, getting to this point where you can use the left foot, like, more freely?
Play jazz. Really. Seriously. Put on some jazz records and put on some jazz tunes and play jazz because you know, once you get away from the 2 and 4 a lot. All that.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of those things that made me feel more comfortable with incorporating the left foot hi-hat more than just a timekeeper. It's more like a third hand. Play some ghost notes on.
Yeah, and I guess for any of you out there watching who are like, I don't want to play jazz or I don't want to go into that, even if you don't play or like play any jazz gigs or anything, even just going through a book or going through examples or playing with records, it's just going to give you headroom.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say, like, if you were a rock drummer and you went through a bunch of jazz exercises, I guarantee that in no way would it take away from your rock playing. It would just give you more options.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
Yeah, that's great advice, man. Someone was asking I believe it was in the YouTube chat, and they said you should ask Zack about his minal symbol that he has. He'll tell you about it.
Who asked that question? What's the username? Actually, you don't have to say
Someone
that.
tell me the username.
No, that's a good question. I'm gonna find you later for making me tell this story.
Figure, I guess this is the best time to tell it. I don't know the story,
So Wish, the
Wish.com.
website, Wish.com,
Yeah.
they sell these really just horrific symbols, and I went on there. I'm sure they sell good stuff too, but this particular brand was pretty bad. Okay, so I went on there and I bought a whole symbol pack for about $30.
Wow.
I kid you not, $30. I was
incredible.
excited. I was so excited for this symbol pack.
Yeah.
$30 symbol pack. I mean, I wasn't gonna use anything to record. I just wanted to, compare and do like a whole YouTube video thing.
Yeah.
Tell me why I only got one symbol back. One. So that one symbol was a ride cymbal. It was like an 18-inch ride cymbal. I think they just misworded it because it was basically a crash. It was so thin and light. But it's like an 18-inch ride cymbal, and I played on it, and it was really bad. It had to be made out of like, I don't know, a big quarter or something. That's what it sounded like, a big quarter. It sounded like a big quarter. So anyways, I was like, all right, let's see if we can make this cymbal sound good. So I went outside, I dug a hole, I buried it underground, I hammered it, put some tape on it. It got somewhere decent, but the cymbal started looking jacked up. It's a messed up cymbal. So what I did was I purposely misspelled Meinl, because you know I'm a Meinl artist.
Yes.
I spelled it like M-I-N-L-E. I took it to my local guitar center and tried to trade it in, tried to sell it. And they said, heck no. They said, nope, you can't have that here. I actually did a YouTube video on it. It's called Wish Cymbal or something like that.
I'm sure someone will post it in the chat. I need to go watch that video.
And since then, it's just been a running joke. I remember when I first visited the USA Meinl HQ, I brought that cymbal with me. And I took a picture in front of the Meinl factory or the Meinl warehouse in USA with the Meinl cymbal.
I'm sure they loved that.
Yeah, dude, Chris thought it was hilarious. Those guys are awesome, and they all have a great sense of humor.
So good.
It was cool.
And just for the record, the person who asked that was Leela Grant.
Leela Grant. All right, I'm going to find you in the Discord server, Leela Grant.
That's so good. This is from Devin Blake, bro. What is your go-to pocket chop? Something flashy that you may bust out at gigs that won't get you fired.
That's a good.
Your tastiest chop.
A pocket chop.
Pocket chop.
So I like to put this one in. It ain't nothing much, but it adds a little hot sauce, you know.
That's sick, dude.
I like that stuff, man. Oh.
So you need one of those small stacks.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do one more from the members area here. Oh, here we go. This is from Osho. What are your top 5 drum albums? One you would recommend all drummers listen to. Thank you, Zach, for the awesome videos. Cheers.
Dude, that is hard.
It's a hard question.
That is hard.
Let's go like your top 5 like this week. If that's easier.
This week. Let me, I got you. So, Wynton Marsalis Standards Volume 2 with your boy Jeff Tane Watts on the drums. Boy,
Master.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that record of that young piano player, Joey Alexander.
Kendrick Scott?
Huh?
Kendrick Scott?
Not that one, but that's killing too. But the one with Eric Harlan, it's called Eclipse.
Yes,
Joey Alexander Eclipse. Nasty record.
Bali is on that.
Yeah. All right, cool. And third one, Double Booked by Robert Glasper. I love that stuff.
That's a good one too.
Love that stuff. But let me do one outside of jazz. Polyphia's new record is one I've been listening to a lot.
Nice.
Polyphia's new record. Oof.
One more.
My album.
You're right. Well done. Well done. Respect.
Although it's not released, but I've been listening to my album a lot because I'm highly critical of myself and I'm just always trying to get better. For the next.
Let's take one more question. This is from the YouTube chat, and then we're going to close out with one more track. This one's from Chris Baines. Who are your first drumming inspirations?
First drumming inspirations. That is a great question. I was really inspired by piano players and saxophone players, more so drummers, I noticed, because you know, they were the ones on the front, getting all the girls, getting all the attention. I was like, man, they're sick. My first huge drumming inspiration, I have to give it to Elvin. I have to give it to Elvin. Elvin Jones, for those of you who don't know.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Favorite record?
From Elvin?
Yeah.
Oh, Love Supreme, dude. I used to play along to that all the time.
Dude. Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great choice. All right, man. Before we play that last track, any final words of advice to all the drummers watching?
Yeah.
Lots of drummers out there. I'm sure you'll be back, but
these are the final words.
Final words, and then we'll play the track.
Okay, first, let me say, I am honored to be here. I don't know if I said that at the beginning, but I'm gonna say it again.
It's an honor to have you, bud.
It's an honor to be here, and I want to let you guys know that everyone at the Drumeo facility, the Drumeo compound, have been treating me like a family, you know, and I love it, and I'm so glad to be here. See y'all in the back, man. I'm gonna kiss y'all later.
The control room cam.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Drumeo. And my final advice to anyone watching this, if you're willing to listen to my advice, is to say just stop caring what anybody thinks. You know, you will progress the fastest. Whether it be on drums or in real life, you stop worrying so much what anybody thinks, other than your mother, of course, because your mother only wants what's best for you, right?
Well
or your
said.
father.
Well
Yeah.
said.
But other than that, stop caring. You know, be yourself. You know, because at the end of the road, you're just gonna. I don't want to get dark, so I'm just gonna say, be yourself. I was gonna go dark there, but I'm not gonna do that. Be yourself.
Nice. That's great advice, man.
Thank you.
Lastly, before we go, thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and make sure you go check out Zack on YouTube, Instagram. Check out the new record once it's out. Yeah, and all the stuff that's going to be coming out in the next few months here on the Drumeo channel with Zack. You don't want to miss it. There's some crazy stuff coming out. So, yeah, this last track is called Outro.
Yeah, for the boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
And feel free, once the track ends, the floor is yours if you want to play out longer.
Okay.
But yeah, take care, everyone, and cheers.
Go.